welcome to my channel. It's Home with Millie, and my name is Millie, of course. So on today's video, we're gonna be cooking. So it's a cook with me video, and we're gonna be making shrimp fried rice. And I promise you, this is better than takeout. And here are the ingredients that we're gonna be using. So I'm going to be listing all the ingredients in the description below for you, and so that will be easy to see. So yeah, let's get right into cooking. So for my rice, I like to use a little bit of oil, and I put a tablespoon of onions, yellow onions of course, and I cook it for a little bit on low heat because I don't want it to burn, so I cook it on low heat. And once it starts browning a little bit, I add my chicken stock or chicken broth, and this one is store-bought because I don't have any that I've made, so I use the store-bought one, and it works out perfect. So if you don't have one made, just use the store-bought one. I let it cook for about 5 minutes, and I add in my rice. You have to wash the rice so that there's no more white stuff in there. So once you're done washing it, you put it in the chicken stock. Then you add half a teaspoon of salt. Now the rice, I forgot to let you know, this is 3 cups of rice that I am cooking. Now onto the shrimp. So the shrimp, I only use black pepper because there's gonna be a lot of flavors going on in the food, so it works perfect, just black pepper. Now the rice is done, so we're gonna scoop it out and put it in the freezer to cool down. I prefer doing it that way. I know there are other methods. People use a day-old rice, or they freeze it or for overnight, but I freeze it for the same day, about 1 hour, and then once that is done, I will start cooking my fried rice. So that's what I'm doing right now, and then we'll get into it. I'm gonna be placing the shrimp in the pan. So I put a little bit of oil, and I start placing them one at a time, and I cook each side about 1 minute because I don't want it to be overly cooked, because once it's overly cooked, it gets really chewy or feels like rubber, and I don't want that. So it's all done, just a few minutes, and you take it out. Now I washed the pan. I know I could have cooked the fried rice in the same pan, but I prefer to wash it. So that is the eggs. So these are 2 eggs that I beat with my fork, and I put them in the pan. And so now I'm gonna do some scrambled eggs, and once that is done, this will be cooked for less than a minute actually. And once it's done, I put it aside and start frying my veggies. So this is what I'm frying now, and that's my onions. And what I'm putting in now is my garlic. So that's the garlic that's going in. And now I go in and add my ginger. So these are grated ginger. I grated it so that it's not as chunky. So I put that in, let it cook for about a minute, and then I put my carrots. And then I like to add some of my scallions in as I cook it because it gives it a lot of flavor, and I like the flavor it gives it. So that's why I put a little bit in there, but I will use the rest of it later on. Ooh, it smells so delicious. Now I go in and I put the shrimps that I set aside. I put them in there and let it cook for about another minute. And once that is done, I can go ahead and put my rice in there, and you know it's about to go down because once the rice goes in, you know it's done. So I just took out the rice from the freezer, and it's the perfect texture that I want. And so I scoop it in there and start to stir it. And you have to let it fry because it is fried rice, of course. So we're gonna fry the rice, and that's what we're doing now. Ooh, the smell! It smells so delicious, guys. I wish you can smell it from here. Now I put my eggs in there and begin to stir it. So that's my soya sauce. I also added a little bit of sesame oil. I love the taste of sesame oil. It gives fried rice some, I don't know how to explain it, but it is so good. You should try it. So I put a little bit in there, just like a teaspoonful of sesame oil in there, and it gives it a lot of flavor. And then I add my soya sauce. You stir it so that it becomes even, and then you put your scallions in there, and you know it's done. It's done, you know. And so that's how I make my fried rice, my shrimp fried rice. And guys, you should try this because you're gonna love it, because it wasn't even enough for my family. And yeah, try it and let me know in the comments below if you tried this recipe and if you loved it. So I dished it out, and voila, it looks amazing. It tastes delicious. You should try it, as I said before. And this paired with some shito, which is hot sauce. That's what's on the rice right now. It's amazing. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.